Hey folks, and welcome to CarStars' 10 Wild Facts About Ralph's Rental, 79 Pontiac Trans Am, and Steve McQueen's last and final film, the 1980 movie, The Hunter. Fact number 1. Despite the car only being on screen for a short while in the movie, there were actually 7 different 1979 Pontiac Trans Ams used in the film to portray it, and most were directly sourced from Pontiac, which had initially used them as part of their factory show fleet. These Trans Ams were formerly reserved at Pontiac for promotional use at events, dealerships, and auto shows, showcasing Pontiac's latest offerings. After their promotional duties, the vehicles were purchased by and sent over to Paramount Pictures to be used in the film. Paramount initially purchased just 6 Trans Ams, and these cars were used throughout the film for various quite rough action scenes. However, when a key explosion stunt in the film didn't result in the desired effect, the production team sourced a 7th Trans Am, which we'll get into the details of a bit later on. Fact number 2. The Trans Ams were powered by Oldsmobile 403 V8s, which was one of the larger engines available during the late 1970s. It produced an emissions-choked 185 net horsepower and 320 pound-foot of torque, sending the power to a 3-speed auto transmission. While these power figures were modest compared to earlier Firebird generation's engines, the 403 was known for its toughness, being able to withstand quite a beating before giving up. While it wasn't quite as performance-oriented as the Pontiac 400 engine, it still provided ample torque for daily driving and spirited performance. Its large displacement meant it could deliver decent low-end power, which was beneficial for the types of stunts seen in the film. This engine is also notable for being part of the transitional period in American automotive history, where performance was being reduced due to emissions regulations, fuel economy concerns, and insurance rates. Despite these limitations, the 403 V8-powered Trans Am remained an icon of late 70s performance cars. Fact number 3. The second-generation Firebird was nearing its end by 1979, and the Trans Am model was certainly one of the most popular cars of its era, as well as marking a significant turning point in the history of American performance vehicles. It was the last year that Pontiac offered a big block V8 engine, a notable milestone as stricter emissions standards were beginning to diminish the size and power output of engines. For '79, Trans Am buyers could choose between the aforementioned 403 Oldsmobile 185 horsepower V8 engine or the more limited availability 400 Pontiac V8, outputting 220 horsepower. Despite the decline in power compared to earlier years, the Trans Am maintained a strong reputation for its road handling ability, thanks in part to the quite popular WS6 Special Performance Package option. Its popularity was also fueled by its cultural status, with the Trans Am becoming a symbol of rebellion and speed in the late 1970s. While emissions regulations of the time were forcing many performance cars to detune their power outputs, the '79 Trans Am managed to maintain a balance between just meeting regulatory requirements and yet still delivering a thrilling driving experience. Fact number 4. The cars were left largely in stock form when used in the film. It should be noted, however, that some were repainted from their factory color, which would explain the absence of the Phoenix Rising hood decal, and all of them were equipped with the WS6 Special Performance Package and limited slip differential options, which enhanced handling and braking. The WS6 package included larger wheels, disc brakes, and improved suspension components, making the Trans Ams more responsive and agile. There were no aftermarket modifications made to the cars specifically for the film. The filmmakers relied on the car's inherent torque and durability for stunt driving rather than adding any aftermarket modifications. This was most likely because there was very little high-speed driving in the film in general. Fact number 5. Unlike most movies of the era that featured a Pontiac Trans Am in the plot as a rebellious performance icon, the '79 Trans Am in this film was deliberately portrayed in an awkwardly comical manner, playing against its usual image of the car. Thorson rents the flashy brand new Trans Am, but instead of handling it with the finesse and precision expected from someone driving such a vehicle, he lurches awkwardly through a parking lot, unable to control the torque-drunk car. This humor contrasts sharply with McQueen's past on-screen persona, where he was known for his precise stunt work and skillful driving, particularly in films like Bullitt. I can only imagine how irritating this role must have been for him to portray. Fact number 6. Out of the 7 Trans Ams used in the film, 2 were actually blown up for a single scene. This is because the first explosion attempt didn't go as planned, so a second Trans Am was brought in for a more dramatic destruction scene. This second attempt car for the explosion scene was rigged up with quite a bit more firepower for a much larger and dramatic blast that actually blew the whole front end off of the car. Fact number 7. One of the most unique and memorable action sequences in the film is the chase involving the Trans Am and a combine harvester. This scene is quite notable as it breaks away from the traditional car chase formula, introducing the unexpected and cumbersome harvester as a destructive pursuer vehicle to the Trans Am. The tension in this scene builds as the Trans Am narrowly avoids the harvester's blades multiple times, showcasing both the agility of the car and the threat posed by the slower but dangerous farm equipment. This chase has since become one of the more distinctive moments in the film, and is quite possibly the only time in movie history that a Trans Am was pursued by a combine. Fact number 8. So, did any of the 7 Trans Ams survive the film, you ask? Well, kind of, would be the best direct answer to that question. And I say that because the one and only car that actually still exists today was the first Trans Am that they tried to blow up in production of the film. The partially destroyed Trans Am was given to a local Illinois farmer named Harold McQueen, no relation to Steve McQueen by the way, as compensation for helping the production crew with his truck and trailer, and he was even featured in the film too, as he was the guy driving the truck pulling the trailer in this scene. This car, along with its full build sheet and film documentation, was later rediscovered by an enthusiast in a barn nearly 40 years later in 2018, providing a fascinating glimpse into the film's production and the legacy of the car. This very unlikely survivor Trans Am, complete with its many battle scars from the film, has since gained interest from collectors and movie enthusiasts, not only because of its connection to Steve McQueen's final film, but also due to its remarkable backstory of being stashed away for decades. Fact number 9. Earlier this year, the lone surviving but very poor condition 79 Trans Am was auctioned on bringatrailer.com. The auction even included the screen-used dual-axle trailer that had been used to haul the cars around during production. It even included some cardboard cutouts of McQueen's character along with the 2 criminal characters that Thorson caught, who were also part of the great trailer scene portraying the comical returning of what remained of the Trans Am to the car rental company. The online auction itself attracted significant attention from collectors, with the car's unique Hollywood history being a primary draw. While certainly not a pristine example, the car's connection to McQueen and its role in the dramatic destruction scenes made it a rare piece of movie car history that sold for a whopping $95,000. Fact number 10. Looking into scale model options of the 79 Trans Am, although the film wasn't well enough received to output any specific merchandise, but since the car was pretty much in stock form, fortunately there are a number of options out there. Probably the best highest quality 79 Trans Am diecast model you'll find out there would be this very nice 1/18 scale example from a brand called Road Signature. However, these are out of retail circulation now and are a bit pricey when they do show up on eBay occasionally, usually going for around $120. If a not so detailed but much more obtainable diecast 79 Trans Am is acceptable to you, then one of these 1/24 scale diecast models from Greenlight may be enough. These are still on the current retail market and typically can be had for around the $30 mark. If model kits are more of your kind of thing, then this large 1/16 scale 79 Trans Am plastic model kit from MPC would certainly be a fun one to build. These usually run around $40 on the current retail market. I will put links in the description below to where you can get the Greenlight and MPC models for those interested. And for those of you who haven't seen it yet, I also have my own diecast car channel named Show and Tell Diecast that I display and detail my diecast models that I add videos to also. I will include a link to the diecast channel in the video description below for those interested. Well, there you have it folks. Thanks for watching and make sure to hit that subscribe button if you like what you saw here. You guys are all great. See you next time.